to not realising that this is the biggest story unfolding before their eyes.
Surrounded by friggin' UFOs.
Of a UFO battle in orbit around Earth.
I believe that's 0428.
Wasn't a pigmentation. You just saw it like this. There it is again. Watch straight ahead off my flashlight there. There it is. Hey, I see it too. What is it? We don't know, sir. So can I get some of it? Yeah, it's a strange, small red light. Weird. It's coming this way. Weird. What is it? We don't know, sir.
We're standing there in awe, and all of a sudden a beam came down right to the side of us. And I'm thinking, is this a warning? Is this communication? What is this, you know? What do we do now?
There was something which he and his navigator saw, and his voice was quite shaky. He said, I don't know what it was, but on radar it was climbing like the clappers.
These are military witnesses, and these people, when they make a report like this and say this is highly unusual, you can take that to the bank.
Welcome back to Aussie UFO News. Today we're going to be reviewing the Rendlesham UFO incident, which I know for a fact was a real factual event that happened in human history. But we'll be going over the 7 News documentary on the Rendlesham incident. But firstly, there was actually an incident that happened called the Cosford major UFO sighting, which happened close by to Rendlesham in England also.
On the night of 30th of March 1993, across southern England, reports flooded in of strange lights moving in a northeasterly course. They formed the outline of a massive black triangle. The most dramatic sighting that night was here around the Royal Air Force's Shawbury base in Shropshire. Multiple witnesses independently reported seeing not just lights, but a clearly structured black triangular craft, clearly recorded in the newly released Ministry of Defence files. But even more interesting, the investigators from the Defence Department were unable to explain that mystery.
Now, come on, realistically, if UFOs were such a myth and conspiracy, why would the Ministry of Defence of England be putting official reports out for this supposable mythological thing? They don't put Ministry of reports out for freaking ghosts or bloody Loch Ness monsters.
From this very slow speed, the UFO accelerated away to the horizon in seconds, and he described this to me as many times faster than a military jet aircraft.
And this is a credible military witness.
This is an Air Force officer with 8 years service.
Around midnight on December 26, a heap of military soldiers, eyewitnesses and radar screens followed an unidentified object as it vanished into the forest. Soldiers were dispatched to the site and encountered a luminous triangular-shaped craft, which was a UFO. Approximately it was 10 feet across and 8 feet in height, with hieroglyphs on the side of it. The UFO then retracted the legs and easily manoeuvred its way through the trees. There were hundreds of sightings of strange lights in the sky and complaints to police and English military. Charles Holt, the leader and party in Rendlesham, he was the commander or military chief at the time. Holt measured a normal amount of radiation in the area. So when you think about that, you think, why did they have radiation meters on them if they supposedly didn't believe in UFOs and didn't know what they were? They were prepared for this event because they've been briefed in the past, obviously.
1980, and Holt was the US Deputy Base Commander at the Bentwaters RAF base in England. He was a senior officer, almost certainly controlling nuclear weapons, one rank shy of general, with 20 years' experience in the Air Force.
We saw something out in the forest we can't explain.
The night before, 2 of Holt's men had reported seeing, and one of them said he'd even touched a UFO with strange markings on the side. This time, Holt decided to see for himself. He gathered a large number of soldiers and headed into Rendlesham Forest. They had radios, lights, and military Geiger counters.
Took those things along just to disprove all of this stuff. Looked up and looked through the forest toward the coast and saw a glowing object. I can best describe it as looking something like an eye with a black center. It's moving like this through the trees going up and down, avoiding the trees.
You use the word there, avoiding the trees. You're under the clear impression that this object was intelligently moving?
Definitely, is under some type of intelligent control.
So after this incident occurred, which was viewed by over 30 officers, Holt actually reported this incident, and a secret investigation was launched by a man called James Exton, which he did launch an extensive but secretive inquiry. He has never revealed his findings, even to staff members and high-up government officials. He says only that he learned additional information that ties the Rendlesham case to other unexplained UFO incidents. So again, we're seeing here the deep dive into investigating UFOs, and also the previous knowledge before 1980 they had of UFOs in our atmosphere. And now to date, they're still covering up, saying that we've got these low-level investigation agencies through the US government like ARROW that aren't actually investigating UFOs in any way possible. They're just cover-ups for the actual secret contracted organisations investigating the UFO phenomena and other phenomena in our atmosphere and out. So basically what I'm saying is our governments and contractors in conjunction with our governments and intelligence agencies have known about the phenomena for at least the last 50 years.
This was something which we had never seen before, we couldn't explain.
Alan Turner is long retired, but in 1971 he was wing commander in charge of an Air Force radar unit that went on high alert after multiple objects moving at impossible speeds and heights were tracked on his screens. Turner ordered a bomber pilot to try to intercept.
He admitted that there was something which he and his navigator saw, and his voice was quite shaky. He said, I don't know what it was, but on radar it was climbing like the clappers. We didn't see anything visually, but it was definitely in our radar.
Crucially, this is an incident that's witnessed by maybe a dozen people?
Probably a total of 30 or 40 people.
5 of the people involved on the first night actually made formal statements, witness statements. Now that would be a disciplinary offence if there was anything false in that.
His report was buried. Do you believe that the US government or somebody in the US government knows more than they're letting on?
I suspect there's more than one agency that knows a lot more than what they're letting on.
These are far from coincidences. It's been happening now for the last 60 to 70 years. Literally since after the nuclear bomb was created, UFO sightings over nuclear plants and military installations have happened time and time again, especially in the US, always near radioactive centres. If you look at the map, you can see that there is a radioactive centre for nuclear power not far from Rendlesham Forest. There is a multitude of UFO sightings over military bases that are near nuclear plants. And so here I'm just going to play some of the original tape recordings from the eyewitness testimony and evidence that was recorded on the actual UFO sighting in Rendlesham Forest.
Looks like someone came off about 15 to 20 feet up. Some small branches about an inch or less in diameter. Before 148, we're hearing very strange sounds out of the farmers burning our animals. They're very, very active, making an awful lot of noise. You just saw a light there. Wait a minute. Where? Right in this position here, straight ahead, in between the tree. There it is again. Watch, straight ahead off my flashlight there. There it is. Hey, I see it too. Let's go around to the edge of the clearing so I can get a better look at it. See if you can get the star scope on it. The light's still there, and all the barnyard animals have gotten quiet now. Yeah, we're heading about 110 to 120. It appears to be maybe moving a little bit this way. Yes, it's right about half that. It's coming this way. It is definitely coming this way. Pieces of it are shooting off. There is no doubt about it. This is weird.
Please share my video and my content also on Instagram and follow me. See you next time.